it's me, I'm Matt Hawes, the Happy Show, and here we go with the happy story. On to the third part.
Welcome to.
Hey, this is the Happy Show.
Welcome to the Happy Show.
Woo-hoo! Yeah! It was, I think, was it August? Pretty sure it was August of 2003 that David W. Johnson came to me with this proposal that he had come up with. Now, I had enjoyed being on his show before, and I was thinking about wouldn't it be cool to actually make my own show. But I never actually took any initiative on it because, again, I didn't own a camera. And I just, I don't know, it's just I had so much going on with the shop, but yet that thought was still in the back of my mind. But David, he came in and he says, well, Matt, I have an idea. I know you don't have a video camera, but I do, and I film a lot of stuff in my house. I have this big room that where pretty much just acts as my studio when I'm not out and about, and we could film you there. I will do the filming, David offered. And he said that I could take the footage into the public access stations. Pretty much all I had to do, he was saying, is just show up and let myself be filmed doing a show I wanted to do. And he would take care of the rest, the editing and everything else for me. And at the time, I thought, well, what the heck, you know? I mean, I wasn't really familiar with putting together the shows or nothing like that, or how you were supposed to submit it and such. So I thought, well, okay, let's go ahead and I'll dip my toes in here. And he put down a few papers. David, whenever he gets ideas, sometimes I have trouble pronouncing that word. he'll write down little sheets of paper his what his thoughts are. You know, basically his proposal was that I would do a thing called the Matt Hawes Show. And I thought, I know this is going to sound funny to a lot of people who have watched me over the years, but I don't like naming things after myself like that. You know, I didn't call my shop Matt's Comic Shop. I don't know, I just really didn't like that sound. But I thought, okay, well, we'll argue, or not even argue, but discuss it later, because there was no argument. There was really never any argument with Dave. But his proposal was like he wanted me to do a talk show. And I'm thinking a talk show. And see, David being the individual he was, like I said, his show was real fluid, the Warriors of Brave New World, and like fluid, surreal at times, and everything else. So he had done actually a talk show. That had been one of the kind of things that was featured on his show before. And David, for a person who, he's not a rich person. He's never been a rich person. He's not he's not somebody you think could get the people that he got on his show, but he has a knack. There's just something about David, and he's a go-getter. And if anything I can say about David, is he's a determined go-getter, and he had people on his own talk show. He had local rock bands, and he had people from the zoo. They actually brought stuff to his house. They brought animals. To his house. Like you see people like the zoo curators on like the San Diego Zoo bring on to the Tonight Show and such. He had people here at our local zoo, the Mesker Zoo. He had those people actually bringing the animals to his house, where he filmed his public access. This is a guy with a video camera that anybody could buy at Best Buy. And he had just a house here, just a nice modest house. And these people, he would be able to get people like that and people from all walks of life to come and film in his house. It was awesome. And so when he proposed a talk show for me, though, I thought, really, Dave, a talk show? And I didn't really want to do a talk show, but at this time, I really hadn't thought about what I would do for a TV show. I just knew that I wanted to do one. And so I thought, the closest I thought is I would like to be kind of just goofy and fun and weird. I have my own brand of weirdness, as many of you have gathered if you do follow my stuff. Dave and I, we cross over sometimes, but Dave's weirdness is on another level from mine. And but I wanted a weird show, not weird like Dave's, but in my own silly, fun, irreverent way. But I didn't. The talk show I don't know. I didn't think that would work. That would cut it for me. But I thought, well, okay. He says the talk show. I'm just going along with him. But one thing I did say I would not do is he thought I could discuss topical things that were mentioned in the newspaper and such. I said, David, first off, we're being filmed. This is not like a nightly show that runs live or at least semi-live like some of the late night talk shows. And I said that, I really don't want to talk about topics. I want to just be more freewheeling and not tied down to any events, any period of time. So he understood that, and I told him, I said, well, we'll try to do this talk show. A talk show basically that would have no guest in a sense, because I didn't have the idea of how to bring the people he did, and he was really just acting as cameraman and editor for the show, and the person who would submit it for me. But so basically, what I thought, well, I'll ask a friend of mine if he wants to be a part of the show. So I had another friend named Robert who wanted to be part of the show at the time. He was interested. I said, you could be my co-host. And Robert was thinking, oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, okay. So Robert acted as my co-host. So I had the little desk set up. And this was all at David's house. And I had the desk set up. David was doing the filming. I was calling him Cameraman Dave, which later he asked me not to do. And Robert was sitting as my co-host on the couch beside me. And really what I did is we just talked about a variety of different subjects. And there was some things out in the newspaper, but less topical kind of thing. Just because I think everyone should see the Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
And if nothing else, we're going to make time for the Dirty Dancing kid. Okay, so Dave, here we go. We're going to stop for a second and let's.
There's a news article about this, isn't there?
Is it about him or is it just about Dirty Dancing?
It's about him.
It's about Dirty Dancing.
But it's not about him specifically, right?
That describes it.
Yeah.
You know what Dirty Dancing is, right? I mean, dang, it's been around since the 80s.
It's a problem here.
It's a problem. It's a problem that must be stopped.
Right.
And it's corrupting the youth of America.
It is.
How dare they do this with Dirty Dancing? We got to put it into this. Oh, yeah. Some are offended by Dirty Dancing. Dear Annie, I specifically liked your statement that dancers were acting like animals in heat. Well, I want to show you one of those animals. Stop it. Before it's too late.
No, I don't want to see that. Well, I do want to see that.
You shouldn't do that. Your mommy's going to spank your britches. That kid, next he'll be in the pool halls, I tell you. You know, most episodes, they start with a monologue or some jokes. Since I'm not really a professional comedian, I don't have a whole, shtick together, but I figure we can tell a joke that I think our audience would appreciate.
I'd like to hear a joke,
all right,
Matt.
You want to hear this joke? This is such a great joke. You want to hear a joke, Cameraman Dave?
Yeah,
okay.
Joke.
Okay, there's two penguins and they're in the bathtub, all right? And one says, pass me a sod. The other one says, I'm not a Volkswagen. oh, I love that joke. Oh, that's a good one. Woo! And so we had filmed 3 shows, I think, of that, 3 episodes, pretty much in that format, as the Matt Hawes show. But technically, I consider those the pre-Happy show. They're counted kind of in my number, which, by the way, I think I haven't tallied it up since for a while, but it's over 100 episodes now. And that was it. And it was a half-hour long show. If you don't follow my regular Happy shows, they have always been though the actual show itself has always been a half-hour long. And so basically, that's the format for the first 3 to 4 shows. I think it was 4 shows and one show Robert didn't make it in as my co-host, so it was just me and Dave. And that was the 4th show, if I remember correctly. And that was the first show that we actually called the Happy Show. And what it is, I came up with the name just being silly. I just wanted a silly name. There's no real forethought. It's just like, what would be good? The Happy Show. Just let's, whatever. I said before, I didn't want to call it the Matt Hawes Show to begin with. But that first episode called The Happy Show, which is actually the 4th episode in this series that we were doing at the time, that was pretty much just the talk show. And then it started to change, because what happened is I decided I wanted to take more control of the show. While it was my show and it was acknowledged as being my show, it really wasn't my ideal totally what was being done. I didn't want to do a talk show, and I changed the name to The Happy Show. And I just wanted to have control of my own show. I wanted to be able to edit the stuff myself. And that's where I was headed. So I went with my friend Robert, and I bought a digital camera. At the time it was a high-8 camera. And we started filming what more or less was what more or less is known today as The Happy Show. The format was changed. And that's what I'm going to continue with on the next video in the series of The Happy Story. Yeah!